and welcome to this very special conversation with the makers of Adipurush. Joining me is National Award-winning director Om Raut of Tanaji fame, whose recent film teaser, it's only 90 seconds, is making waves. And with him, I can see Manoj Muntashir, lyricist, screenwriter, and renowned poet. Really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you.
90 seconds ने
Thank you.
हंगामा कर दिया है. It's a storm that it has created. Did you anticipate this kind of reaction?
You want me to take it?
Yeah.
Well, to be honest with you, this is something that was very different than what we expected. We definitely expected the number of views that we were going to get, and we definitely expected we expected a very positive response. And to be honest with you, it's kind of been mixed. It's there's a lot of people who are talking very good about it, and there are some people who are talking not so much good about it, and there are some differences in their mind. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of been a journey, I must say.
Talking about this specific journey, मनोज जी, कब ये शुरुआत हुआ, कब उन्होंने आपसे बातचीत की और कब मनोज मुंतशिर इस प्रोजेक्ट के लिए में शामिल हुए थे?
मुझे जहाँ तक लगता है, मुझे कभी ओम ने बहुत साफ नहीं बताया, but I think he liked my work in Bahubali. Is that right?
Well, that is absolutely true.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, Manoj ji is an extremely renowned and extremely fine lyricist. But at the same time, I had actually approached him for dialogues.
Yeah.
That's where the journey started. And later, obviously, he ended up writing the lyrics also. But I wanted him to come for dialogues.
So that's a new thing, because when I was approached, I thought that it is for songs, because mostly people call me for songs. When I met him, the first thing that he spoke, Manoj, I want you to write dialogues for my film. And I was like, oh, really? Okay. So the last time I heard this line was when Mr. Rajamouli said this. So after him, after Mr. S.S. Rajamouli, he's the only one who has approached me for dialogues of such a massive film.
There's also a good reason, because the love that we share about Prabhu Ram and Maryada Purushottam, that was one of the biggest reasons to actually approach you, and your research and study and knowledge of the literature, of the greatest Indian literature, Ramayana, is extremely high. We all know that. And to be honest with you, जैसे रामचरितमानस में लिखा है ना, या तो फिर थोड़ा पोएटिक लाइनें हो, जैसे कि हमने जो टीजर में भी डाली हैं, वो भी लाइनें थोड़ी पोएटिक है. That was the reason actually to get Manoj ji on board to write this journey with me.
Humble.
And since you're talking about your research, you said काफ़ी एफर्ट लगा है. उसी रिसर्च पे सवाल उठ रहा है कि आपने जो डिविएशन किया है from the book Ramayana. The reason why I'm saying is क्योंकि अभी जो अरुण गोविल का एक वीडियो वायरल हुआ था, that is India's connect to Lord Ram. और यहाँ पर जो डिपिक्शन है उसके बारे में सवाल उठ रहा है और बोला जा रहा है ये कंप्लीट डिविएशन है और फेथ के साथ छेड़छाड़ किया गया है.
Okay, first of all, not even 1% of our film is deviation from the actual Ramayana. जब हम रामायण की बात करते हैं, what comes to our mind and what have you seen in the teaser? रामायण क्या है? रामायण एक कथा है जिसमें the devil king, the demon king, रावण, वो हमारी माँ सीता का हरण कर लेते हैं. भगवान राम माँ सीता को बचाने जाते हैं, समुद्र पे पुल बांधते हैं, वो वानर सेना की, सुग्रीव की और बजरंगबली हनुमान की सहायता लेते हैं. This is like in a nutshell, this is Ramayana as told to a 5-year-old kid. He will understand this much of story. This is the story we have lived with. This is the story we are retelling. This is the story we are showing. So there is not even an iota of deviance from the actual storyline. Nothing of that sort. Am I right, Om?
Absolutely. The idea is to recreate Ramayana onto celluloid. The idea is to, and when I say recreate, I don't want anybody to misunderstand, is to change it.
Yeah.
What I mean to say is translate from the books to celluloid. So this, as I've always said before, that this is not a film for us. This is a representation of our bhakti. This is the representation of our shraddha. This is the representation of everything that we stand for. We are
And
both of
Omji,
us, and
yes,
most of us
you have said
who
that
are
this
working
is
on
your
this film.
passion project. I've read some interviews where you said that this is your passion
It
project. I'm going to get into
is.
specifics now because
Yes.
जो ये 90 सेकंड का टीजर है उस पे हर एक फ्रेम पर डिबेट चल रहा है. There is an image of Saif Ali Khan as
नहीं,
Ravan
बहुत
who
गलत
is
चीज़ों पर
sitting.
डिबेट चल रहा है.
जी जी प्लीज आप बोलिए उसके बाद मैं सवाल पूछूंगी.
No, I just wanted to say that not every frame is debated because that's not the case. I mean, the dialogue that we had in the trailer, धस जाए धरती चटक जाए आकाश, न्याय के हाथों होकर रहेगा अन्याय का सर्वनाश. आ रहा हूँ मैं अधर्म का विध्वंस करने, आ रहा हूँ न्याय के दो पैरों से अन्याय के 10 सर कुचलने. I think these are the lines which are Manoj ji have written, which are extremely, we are so proud of these lines. We are extremely proud of these lines. And when you see them in the film, it's a huge monologue that Prabhu Shri Ram's character played by Prabhas delivering. These are the things that we want to be proud of. These are the things that we would like to talk about. These are the things that we want to would like to have the conversation with, and not about some things which we don't agree with.
Okay, so then
you
how are
can
you
continue
looking
with your
at
question. I'm
some,
more than happy to
yes,
answer.
some criticism? Let me ask those criticisms and then we'll go ahead with the conversations that you want this trailer to generate. There is one image of Saif Ali Khan as Ravan who is sitting on a mystic bird. There are scholars, historians who are of the opinion that in Ramayana there is no description that of any kind of bird of this nature.
Sure. So he's demonic, right? He is Mayavi. He is a person who is the greatest villain of all time. He is a demon. He's a 10-headed demon, and you will have to see the film to actually understand that particular point. But he's riding a huge creature, right? And that's his right. And that is a very it's a very negative visual that I see personally as a filmmaker. And when I talk about when I talk about a really ruthless, a demon king called Ravan, I see him riding that obnoxious creature. एक दुराचारी, एक दुष्ट प्रवृत्ति का ऐसा ये किरदार है रावण हमारे इतिहास का. और ये दुष्ट प्रवृत्ति का किरदार जो है वो जिस पर सवार होके आ रहा है वो भी एक खौफनाक और नेगेटिविटी से भरा हुआ ऐसा ये क्रीचर है.
So from mustache to beard, इस पर जो जी go ahead मनोज जी go ahead. हाँ.
जी, because I was just trying to say that who doesn't know, I mean, how a Pushpak Viman would look like. I mean, you do not need Manoj Muntashir or Om Raut to really tell you how a Pushpak Viman will.
Pushpak is an extremely positive thing for us.
Exactly.
It's something that is worshipped. It's a ride of our. हमारे भगवान उस पे आते हैं. हमारे महाराष्ट्र में जो हम तुकाराम भगवान की गाथा भी कहते हैं, तो तुकाराम भगवान जब समाधि ले रहे थे तो उन्हें लेने के लिए देव देवताओं ने पुष्पक भेजा था यहाँ पे, और पुष्पक पर सवारी होकर हमारे तुकाराम भगवान परलोकवासी हो गए थे. हमारे पुष्पक की तो बहुत ही बड़ी ये है. और इसके अगर आप बिल्कुल भी ऐसे बोलने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि इट इज पुष्पक विमान, तो ये बिल्कुल वैसे है नहीं, क्योंकि पुष्पक विमान हम हिंदुओं के लिए बहुत ही पवित्र है.
आप ये बताइए कि रामायण में इसका कोई जिक्र नहीं है, इस तरह की किसी बर्ड का जिक्र नहीं है, या जो क्रीचर है, आपने उस क्रीचर की बात की, बिल्कुल जिक्र नहीं है. लेकिन रामायण में रावण के मायावी होने का जिक्र है कि वो भी नहीं है. ये तो है ना कि वो अपने छल से, अपनी माया से अनेक ढांचे खड़े कर लिया करता था, बहुत कुछ कर लिया करता था, माया से चित्र खींच दिया करता था, माया से मौसम बदल दिया करता था, कितना कुछ माया से कर लिया करता था वो. तो जो उसका मायावी होना है, जिसका जिक्र लाइक इट इज ऑन लाइक एवरी अदर पेज ऑफ रामायणा. सो वंस you study that, you will come to know that this is a creative visualization of his maya. It is not Pushpak Viman, for the record.
It cannot be Pushpak.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from mustache to beard, even the beard of Ravan is being questioned, that it appears closer to Khilji. So again, as I said, that there are certain frames. Let me give you another example. Another image of Ravan in black robe. There are some Vedic scholars who say that no color is discriminatory in Sanatan Dharma, but color has a purpose. And black during those days was about a cult of black magic. And hence, this is more about Arabian Nights than Ravan.
No, I completely refuse this sort of comment about Arabian Nights because it has got nothing. It has got nothing. See, I can tell you one thing for sure, Miss. We've worked on this film with tremendous worship, and we've worked on this film on this subject. As I've said, this is not a film for us. It's a mission, it's a passion for us, and it's only a representation of our love towards Prabhu Shri Ram. Correct? And to be honest with you, our work in the past is a very good advocate of what we stand for. So I do not want any sort of misunderstanding / representation of our intentions. That's point number one. Point number two, you spoke about the beard and the beard versus a mustache. Correct? So the mustache version that I remember out of the research and the beautiful paintings that I've seen from the past is back in the days when we spoke about a demon through our culture, a demon would have like a big mustache, long hair, and which is what we've seen growing up also as on Doordarshan when Ramanand Sagar sir's Ramayana used to come, that there was a demon king who was Ravan, who had a big mustache and long hair, and we see it was very larger than life character. But if I kind of compare that with today, the demonic image of today's generation, of today's time, is the one that I've tried to translate onto screen. Correct? We are making this film for the next generation. The idea behind making this film is to take our great holy script, our Ramayana, into the next generation, and not just the next generation, for the entire world to see. ये हमारे सनातन धर्म की जो सनातनी विचार हैं हमारे, ये सनातनी विचार हम नई पीढ़ी तक ले जाना चाहते हैं, और उसके साथ साथ हम पूरे विश्व में ये विचार हम लोगों तक पहुंचाना चाहते हैं. यही हमारा कर्म है. हमारे पीछे ये करने के पीछे हमारा उद्देश्य बस इतना ही है that we want to reach. Now let me complete, please, miss. So the idea behind having a representation like that is what demonic is to me as an artist today. Is it not demonic? 100% it is demonic. And if the representation of the character is demonic in the scriptures which we have written, which we have heard, which we have read, correct? Then this is the translation of that into today's time, into the presentation of the cinema, correct?
So it is definitely, Raman as a character, he has to be intimidating, and in order to make him intimidating, there is a certain visual, there is a certain image which comes to mind, which we have tried to sketch through our imagination, but definitely that image has got nothing to do with any Khiljis of the world, Nadir Shahs of the world, Changiz Khans of the world, Babars of the world, not at all. Remotely there is no connection between them. But at the same time, what happens that every era, every era has got their villains and their heroes, right? So in today's times, people perceive Alauddin Khilji as a villain. So it is like very understandable that when they look at Ravan, the greatest villain of all time, so they might see glimpses of Khilji, they might see glimpses of Kans also. Why not? They might see glimpses of Duryodhan also. They might see glimpses of Changiz Khan also. So anybody, all these characters who have been bad outright, who have been demonic, their approach, their life has been like a living, burning hell. So if they connect those kind of personalities with Ravan, so I think it is understandable. There is nothing to blame anybody, and we understand that how they are looking at Ravan.
Okay, so this entire idea of VFX, there is a statement that came from the Sita of Ramayana, Deepika Chikliya. She has said that Ramayana की कहानी जो कि सच्चाई और सात्विकता की कहानी है, उसको VFX के साथ जोड़ना बिल्कुल सही नहीं लगा. That's what she has said. But you know, Om Raut, when you said that you're trying to make Ramayana relevant to the youth of the current generation, to make it more relevant to our current times, how relevant is that entire depiction? Because again, one point is that those that the battlefield that is shown It's about several gladiator kind images as well.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, and I haven't really heard about. Deepika Chikliaji's statement that you've been saying. So I don't know how to defend this. I mean, I don't know how to comment on this. I mean, are you trying to say that the visualization is something that you don't agree with? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, that's what Deepika has tried to make a point with. There are criticisms that this kind of visualization of VFX.
No, which is great. I mean, I completely understand. I completely understand, and I don't really understand when you say VFX. It's the visuals I hope that you're talking about. I completely understand and respect Deepika Chikliaji's opinion on this, and that is something that that's very well heard of. At the same time, I would like to repeat myself. What I've said earlier, and I'd like to explain it a little further, is the idea behind making Ramayana or a particular section within Ramayana. Entire Ramayana, obviously, in a 3-hour feature film is not possible because it's a very vast, it's an epic, it's extremely vast narrative. It cannot be fitted into such a small time. It's practically impossible. To be honest with you, for us to understand Ramayana is going to take us generations. And Ramayana is understood by different generations in a different way. In fact, even in your own life, at a younger age, you understand a different Ramayana. As you grow older, every time you visit it again, you understand different aspects of it. You learn new things from it. So it's an epic that can never be understood completely in its entirety by any human in their lifetime. So that's my one thought on the other side. Correct. Now, if you talk about the visualization and not necessarily commenting on Deepika Ji's statement, because I haven't heard it, but understanding of it, that is the representation that I feel that has to be done as an artist. Because, and when I talk about the visuals and the treatment only, is because the generation that is consuming content today, today's India and today's global generation, they are consuming content which is a Marvel film, which is a DC film, which is Harry Potter, which is Lord of the Rings, which is so many of these films are consumed by these youngsters. And if I want to take my Ramayana, my Prabhu Ram's Katha story to them, I have to speak with them in their language. And that is the job that I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to communicate with the younger generation. This is a story that is being going on for generations. 7000 साल पुरानी कहानी है. 100 वर्षों से अधिक समय हो गया कि हम रामलीला देखते आ रहे हैं. हमारी जनरेशन की पहले बहुत टाइम से रामलीला हमारे देश में देखी जा रही है. करेक्ट. इतने सारे कलाकार, it's so many artists across the nation, small villages, big cities, everywhere, they all come down in the period of Dashera, in the period of Navratri, and they perform this Ramlila. This is a mission that is going on for decades before, and it will go on for eternity in forward. Correct? We are only, and as I always said, we feel ourselves as a lucky human. Correct? That we've been chosen to climb onto this journey. This is a bus that is going. We've climbed onto it, and we'll step down after few stops, and the bus will continue, and somebody else will hop onto it. This is a thing that is going to go on. This is for eternity. Ramayana is much larger than your and mine and anybody's lifetime. It is going to continue like that. So today, when we are lucky enough to climb onto this bus, this is the way that we feel that we can translate it and make the younger generation, the next generation, the future of our nation and the future of our world. हमारा सनातन धर्म उनके पास अगर ले जाना है, तो इस प्रकार से हम ले जाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि हम उनकी भाषा में इसको दिखा पाए. जब रामानंद सागर सर ने रामायण की थी दूरदर्शन पे, लेट मी कंप्लीट मरिया जी, जब उन्होंने रामायण की थी तो वो भी बहुत अद्भुत थी. उसका इम्पैक्ट मेरे पर आज भी है. मुझे बहुत सारे शॉट्स उनके अभी भी याद है. एक तीर आता है, एक तीर में से 10 तीर होते हैं, 10 में से 100 तीर होते हैं, और बाद में ये विजुअल इफेक्ट्स वो जमाने के लिए था, और वो जमाने के लिए ये बहुत ही एडवांस्ड विजुअल इफेक्ट्स था. ऐसा हमने कभी भारत में या दूरदर्शन पे या टेलीविजन पे कभी नहीं देखा था. इट वॉज एक्सट्रीमली एडवांस्ड फॉर दैट टाइम. इट वॉज वेरी मॉडर्न फॉर दैट टाइम. Similarly, we are only trying to adapt to the newer age of telling motion picture and trying to translate our great history, making a very small effort from our side to walk on this great journey of Ramlila, walk onto this great journey of Ramayana. That's all we are trying to do. And while we are doing this, we need blessings of all our seniors.
मनोज जी, ये जो आरोप लगता रहा है हमेशा बॉलीवुड पर, यस जी, बॉलीवुड पे हमेशा ये कहा जाता है कि हिंदुओं की भावनाओं के साथ वो खिलवाड़ करते रहे हैं, दैट इट हैज नॉट डिपिक्टेड द हिंदू कल्चर, इट्स फेथ इन द राइट वे. हाउ डू यू लुक एट दिस क्रिटिसिज्म?
ओम राउत और मनोज मुंतशिर उस तरफ नहीं खड़े हैं. And take my word on that. I do not know what Bollywood has done in past, and yes, I have been very vocal about it and very fearless about it. Lot of disservice has been done by Hindi film industry to the very idea of Sanatan. It has happened in the past. There are people who have done it. At the same time, we have made movies like Tanaji, जिन्होंने हमारी हिस्ट्री को बहुत ग्लोरिफाइड तरीके से, सही तरीके से पर्दे पे उतारा. वी हैव सीन वेरियस रिप्रेजेंटेशंस ऑफ संक्षिप्त रामायण. क्या क्या हमने फिल्में देखी हैं. तो अच्छा और बुरा दोनों हुआ है. I'm not trying to escape by saying that no, my Bollywood is sacrosanct. It is not sacrosanct. Mistakes have happened. There are people who have, maybe they have intentionally done so. But Om Raut and Manoj Muntashir, look at our history. Who are we? Who is he? He's the man who just brought the glorious story of Tanaji on screen. I am someone who stands for Sanatan fearlessly. I am someone who doesn't care about the world when it comes to protecting my dharma. I'm that person. How somebody can even imagine how this thought can cross your mind that Manoj Muntashir will pick up a pen and write something which blemishes the very character of my Lord Rama? How can I do that? I'm not that Bollywood. I walk out of that territory completely with full honesty and with full responsibility. I don't belong there.
मारिया जी, मैं आपसे बस एक ही आपके माध्यम से सबसे एक ही बात पहुंचाना चाहूंगा. हम सब दर्शकों तक तो पहुंच नहीं सकते, बट आपके माध्यम से हम अधिकाधिक दर्शकों तक पहुंच सकते हैं. मैं आपके माध्यम से दर्शकों को बस एक ही चीज बोलना चाहूंगा कि हम पर विश्वास रखें. हमारे लिए हमारी जनता जनार्दन है. जो लोग साधु संत हो, हमारे बड़े बुजुर्ग हो, वो सब हमको जो चीजें बोल रही हैं, हम उसकी नोट ले रहे हैं, हम उस पर लिख रहे हैं. और एक ही आपको आश्वासन देता हूं, जब जनवरी 12, 2023 को जब ये फिल्म अपने बड़े पर्दे पे आएगी, विश्व भर में सब जगह ये रिलीज होगी, हम किसी को निराश नहीं करेंगे. वी विल नेवर डिसअपॉइंट एनीवन. बिलीव इन अस, वी विल मेक इट हैपन.
On that note, tell me, is there a possibility of some cuts to all those, because you said that you are very mindful of the criticism that has come your way on this teaser. So when the final movie is released in 2023, there could be possible cuts.
Maria ji, we have seen only 95 seconds of the teaser. I will say this again, we are making all the notes and I guarantee that nobody will be disappointed.
Manoj Muntashir, I cannot let you go without you reciting that dialogue that you had written.
Of course, I would love to.
Well, he's a great writer. I don't know if he remembers that.
Yeah, and you remember.
I remember the entire film.
He remembers it word by word.
I'll say the full line which is not there in the trailer. धस जाए धरती है, चटक जाए आकाश. न्याय के हाथों होकर रहेगा अन्याय का सर्वनाश. वानर वीरों, कौन है जो तुम्हारा रास्ता रोके? किसको मिला है ये अधिकार? धस जाते हैं पर्वत के पांव जब तुम भरते हो हुंकार. तुम्हारी पत्थर की छाती को क्या भेदेंगे अहंकार के तीर? जिनकी धमनियों में रक्त की जगह आग बहती है, तुम हो वो शूरवीर. रावण, आ रहा हूं मैं, आ रहा हूं न्याय के 2 पैरों से अन्याय के 10 सर कुचलने. आ रहा हूं अधर्म का विध्वंस करने.
We are hoping that all the critics
well, I'm not a good actor.
have got their answers answered in
Prabhas say
this.
the line.
Yes, wow. Because I've asked all the questions that were there in the public domain. Really appreciate your time. Om Raut and Manoj Muntashir, pleasure speaking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maria ji. Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.